Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. It's your ghost-ified gamer. I am out here in the middle of nowhere, but soon this will be quite a big area of things. So I've done a lot off screen, and I gotta try to keep this video short as possible on that part of it to go over the things I've done. But we're out here, and I have a hot air build that I finally figured out. I knew I was going to do it. It's just a matter of time. Well, tar processing. Okay, let's put this in perspective here. 8 coal miners produced all this stuff. Not only power, for our trains, coal dust, potential coal trains, which I'll get into, and power, coal and syngas, coke, ash, iron oxide, of course, coke trains, tar. Oh, there's the tar. Creosote, anthracene oil, light oil, hydrogen, and more coke. Yeah, even more. And we're not even done yet because the light oil isn't being consumed by anything right now. It will be. I'll go over that in a second. And this is basically on the ready. We're ready to go as far as the simple circuits that aren't so simple, and the sand casting. We're ready to rock and roll now. Okay. So, and then we got a little bit of rubber. This is going to be a tertiary resource for rubber, though. This is going to be aromatics, because we don't have aromatics. Yeah, we're trying to pull things out of that belt base and get them to be autonomous, so we can, expand easier. We can't be tied to a belt base. I knew that from the start. Hydrogen is a bonus, so we're going to train that up, and this will save us power over the long term. Things won't run because we are capturing these resources, and then we have a good coke. Amount of coke from here. In fact, look at all this. 79,000 shale oil. Yeah. All right, let's go over a few things that I had to change here and some base updates here. I put this circuit network wire on the mini loaders that are loading the train for coal, because what in a sense that did was it deprioritized power. Deprioritized. So I decided, oh yeah, I had better put these at, if it's less than 1,000 coal in this case, which we have, 4,000, don't load the train. Let the train sit here. Now, coal, we're going to do that in a different build. So we're at that point now where I'm going to start building stuff that is going to supply us consistent coal and all this other good stuff. So we'll go over that in a second. Coal dust is over here now. And get this, as you may have noticed, holy cow, we got some power. We got some power. I moved everything over here, disbanded the last power system that we had here, and we now have. This isn't accurate, but it says 1.9 gigawatts, but it's not accurate because I put too many steam turbines down over here, so we can only fit. I think. Oh gosh. A while back, a comment was we could support 3 off of this one, being an MK1, but we can only do a certain amount here. I can't remember the number. So Peter, made a comment on that. And there's, the steam that you can take the steam that's generated from here and divide it into these, and you'll get the number basically. Real simple. So this is, I have too many steam turbines, and I have to pull those off. Thanks for that comment. Salt is all caught up finally. Holy cow, that took a while. And let's go over here because, I had to run the salt a lot. So I have the 100,000 hot molten salt that's stored energy, and we have 100,000 pressurized steam stored energy. 3 of the, these are the Houts, the horizontal axis wind turbines. I made these because I didn't have the skin, so I figured, well, I'll just go with these then. And they're tougher to build, and you need melamine the stuff for the batteries, and also you need to make the melamine that's reddish color. Looks like a pile of goop. I think that's kind of like the coating. You know, they coat to get that less wind friction on them. Melamine, and then the resin, melamine resin, I think it's called. Yeah. So I've got I found when I put these in, I had to increase the salt. I had to bring the salt stream back over to top this off, because you want molten salt in your system that will be consumed. You know, it'll go into the system and come out, because you want these to potentially run. You don't want to wait for this to run, for this to be processed in these to get this salt at temperature. Okay, now we've got an oh shit system here. So this is if ash builds up beyond 400,000, then we turn the ash into flue gas and then vent it. And when the base is running normally, we shouldn't have to worry about this. You know, that's, you know, look, an ash train left already. Seen it? So wood is running. That's good. I built a lot of stuff, so that's why things are going crazy right now. Iron oxide train here is point to point to Swami. Swami is going here and dumping off. I cleaned this up finally. I didn't even think about it. It was like, it works fine. But after I had to pull this train in here, I'm like, well, I'll clean this up too. So that's all good. It's going right on into this case and then going out here. Easier that way, less belt. And so that is taken care of. But what we're going to have to do is have two trains on that. One is going to be a train that smelts the iron into iron oxide into iron plate. And one is going to have to be a stored train, you know, a train that's on the network. Or we'll do LTN for that, probably. So, let's see here. Oh, aluminium is gone. I'll get into that in a second. Let's go back down here. All right, so this is in. This is our coke to coal gas and tar. And that, I prioritized that over this coke here. And the reason for that is because the tertiary resource here is the coal gas and the syngas. So we want that over coke. And so that's why that's prioritized that way. So we definitely want this to run over consuming it in trains. As you can see, you know, it's down to 5,200. So it's consuming it because I was running some stuff. Okay, now this thing got the steam, got the water. I got the tank bleed off here. We want to store our tar for a rainy day. And this tank here, oh, it's empty. Oh, wow, something ran. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. Why is that? Oh, it's not running, so it's going into here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Never mind. All right, so we got the, you know, the tar processing giving us the creosote and the middle oil and all that good stuff. And then we got the carbolic oil and the anthracene or naphthalene oil. Can never remember which one it is. Here's our creosote processors here. I had to add one at the back end of it because it was having trouble. So when I added these trains, it was kind of a test, and I noticed that it was kind of struggling to process that naphthalene oil. Yeah, so it was having trouble. So I tossed one in there, and I've got room for expansion, but I have to move all these pipes, and I didn't want to do that. I just slapped it in there for now. Future build, maybe, you know, we'll do it better, but so that's good. And yeah, so the tertiary resource here, or the primary resource here, is the tar coming in, right? But we're venting that to keep that other process running, the coal gas and all that. I would say the primary resource we're focusing on here is the creosote. However, it's dependent on tar being here. Now, as long as we're consuming coal gas or syngas, we'll get tar, right? But that's why I call this like a secondary. This is a secondary resource. This is a tertiary resource. But we can call this the primary resource of this build here. That's what we're focusing on. It's not vented. The anthracene oil, the light oil, the hydrogen, and the coke are basically bonus resources. But we want them. We don't want to throw them away. You know, we want them. So now we get a crap ton of pitch. Notice that it is vented because we don't want this system to back up. We're getting a crap ton of coke out of this. And notice we have 79,000, pitch sitting here ready to be made into coke. So we're we're capturing that. So so how I have it in TSM here is the coke yard 1 is priority over coke yard 2 because we want to use that stuff up, and get it out of there, in the case that is. So that's how I'm working that. So I might scale this down. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Okay. So we're ready to rock and roll on treated wood and green circuit boards, or the simple circuit boards that aren't so simple. So we got that handled. We also have the ability to make rubber, which I want to beef that up and get more rubber going. We have light oil, which we can make into aromatics and gasoline. So we're going to have that going. The gasoline is going to be vented because I don't want to depend on the gasoline from this system. And aromatics is going to be a bonus from this as well. So this thing is still not even done. Hydrogen is a bonus. This could save us power from having to, run a hydrogen build. And then, of course, the coke. So that's good. All right, let's talk about the aluminium here. I mined it up. It wasn't that bad. It was only it was a small amount. It ended up being 91,000 ore. So I got rid of that. And up here, no more syngas train. Got rid of that. So that got repurposed. And I had to leave this in because it's powering the vitralloy smelter there. So that's going. And aluminium is now an outpost officially. There you go. So we got... What I did is I took the train that was there and I reversed it, made it into a pickup drop-off train, point to point, temporarily. And I filled up. I had 3 cases with 91,000 total. And I reversed these things in. I had to take these out because it would have filled the train up as it was, doing its thing. And so I pulled all that aluminium ore over here. I'm not worried about mining prod because, well, we're getting 10%. We're not going to have mining prod for a long time. So I just wanted that resource out of there, and I'm not going to waste it. So I put it all here, and eventually these cases will go away, and then we'll just be on that one. Here's our coal gas coming in, popping off the side. This is kind of like the standard that I'm going to have. Now, there's something that I want to do as far as the yards are going. Most likely, it's going to be a 1 train at a time thing. So having 4 trains on the ready isn't really necessary in some cases. There is a spiral yard we can do, which is 1 stop, 1 supplier stop, and all the trains kind of wait to get to that stop. So they deploy 1 at a time. They're going to deploy 1 at a time anyway. But I don't know if we need aluminum for other stuff, so I have to look. But what we have is a spiral in. So we have a yard that's a spiral. It's really space saving. And then we have a yard out that's a spiral. And then it'll deploy the trains 1 at a time. Now, copper, it gets chewed up pretty quick. And I have this set to call 2 trains. This is how you do 2 trains this way. And that train yard here that's why you'd want this kind of a yard. Because 1 train will go, and then, I need another train. I need another train. See, now we got 2 going. So, well, it would be 1 deploy, 1 come back at this case. But it could get to a point where 2 trains are deployed. And so you want this kind of yard here. Because it'll deploy a little quicker, potentially. All right, so I think that's about all that I have. I had a little bit of a update on this. The anthracene oil was kind of giving me issues. I don't know if I went over this. So I had to put a coke to coal gas and tar machines. And what that does is it will produce the tar, and it puts it back into the system here. Well, actually, it's consumed first here. And then if I need more tar, I have a top-up valve here. So it's if it's under 80%, give me a little more tar to the system here. And creosote is the primary resource here. And that's what I've been trying to battle this whole time, you know, going forward with, you know, with this build here, is that I need this, 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 but you can't have it all because something's going to back up on you or something's going to run out. So that's what's tricky. I am running the stupid landfill, which is another issue we're going to be resolving later on, is fuel. Consistent fuel for the whole base, for the whole network. That's going to be a tall order. So we'll have to see how that goes. There is a mod that Crydex has. It converts any fuel into a generic fuel or something. And I don't know if I want to do that because it kind of, I mean, I understand it. And I don't care if you know, that it's a cool mod. I really would like to use it. But I also am thinking about challenge. And that's why you play this mod. I want the challenge of trying to figure out what fuel I'm going to use where. And I still want to do a system where I can bring a fuel in, and if I'm low, I want to switch fuels, you know, like using circuit network to switch fuels. So you got to purge out whatever is in the system, and then you replace it, you know, repipe it with a new fuel, you know, because you can't mix fuels. However, you might be able to mix fuels because the piping does accommodate multiple fuel lines. Fuel. So I might try and play around with that a little bit with these smelters, and how I think about it. Okay. I think that's about all I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, we got to go over this first. Oh, so I have the warm brick thing figured out, and here it is. Now, let me bring up the highlights here. Let's point our attention to the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger has the ability to get us 500 degree coke oven gas. Notice that this is something, when I saw this, I go, oh, you little suckers. Okay, we put in 100 degree, equal to or less than 100 degree coke oven gas. That is why FNEI and Hellmod are getting confused, I believe, because it doesn't know how to resolve that less than or equal to. If it was a hard number of 100, that'd be different. So it's having trouble. It keeps looping back on itself, you know, and it keeps going back to other things. Either that or I just have to look at it again. So look at the products. 100 coke oven gas in, hot molten salt in, and we get 95 coke oven gas out. I was like, oh, you little suckers. So we're losing coke oven gas on every craft. 5, just a little bit, you know, a small percentage, 5%. And I was like, oh, it's not a regenerative system. You know, we can't just regenerate, you know, and cycle. It's not a cyclical. So we have to actually have a little metering pump to, you know, keep it topped up. So I saw that and I'm like, you sons of bitches. Anyway, so I brought the molten salt in. And we need a coal power plant to heat up the molten salt. There are other ones, but the most consistent one is coal right now, because I don't have consistent fuel right now, you know. Okay, so let's go over the system. First off, this is simulating a train bringing fuel in. And what has to happen here is, you know, we'll go ahead and do input priority. Right here. There you go. So this is our coke oven gas generator. We need raw coal. It produces coke, and it outputs the 250 coke oven gas. Easy peasy, right? So we have to take that, prioritize it, and put it into our coal power plant and burn it off. That's fine. We need it. This is a train coming in, bringing whatever fuel we're going to bring in, carbon-based. This pump will be wired to the tank here, and what it'll do is it will top it up. It'll keep it topped up because we're going to lose coal gas because of this machine right here. Let's go to this machine here. Oh, wow, we got warm bricks in here for some reason. Oh, yeah, coal gas is out. Stone bricks plus the 250C coal gas has to be equal to or greater than. Now, what's interesting is it's equal to or greater than 250. So I'm wondering if we can use the 500, but I'll show you why this is the way it is probably. So we warm the stone brick up, we get the 100 out, flat out 100. That gets fed into this, so we need the 100. See that? So we gotta run the warm brick to get the 100 to get, and you know, of course, the salt, heat it up to get the 500, which is a little less than 5, you know, a little less than 100 out, and then we kick out the salt to heat it up again. Thank God we don't have to worry about that. Just cycle it. So we do need, now this is 250 coming out, right? But this needs 100, and it's less than or equal to. So we can't put the 250 in here direct. Now, this one kicks out the 500, okay, and that goes in here. Now we mouse over this, we have the 500. It has to be equal to or greater than, I think that's equal to or greater than 500, okay. So, and it kicks out the 250 coke oven gas and warmer stone bricks, okay. So that goes into over here. Now, what's interesting is if you look at this, it's 250 hard cap, right? Not this equal to, less than, blah, blah, blah. Less than equal to. This one is equal to or greater than. So, coke oven gas, I think it's less than, right? Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so don't mind me. Equal to, less than 250. So, it'll mix up. That's what's confusing, is it's, in my opinion, a different value, right? And if you go into FNEI and Hellmod, it won't resolve it. It can't, it's having trouble with it. Because this is a different value, or it just doesn't know what's going on with it, right? But it mixes with this right here, from here and here. Well, actually from this one and this one produce the same coal gas product at that particular temperature, even though it's less than equal or whatever. Okay. That's what was getting me. It's not difficult, but the problem is it's the labeling, you know, it's not what you're, it should be just 250. Just get rid of that equal to, less than, make it 250, done deal, you know. I don't know why they're doing it that way. It just adds confusion, and also we can't do calculators with it. I'm just saying, you know, get rid of it. Makes it easier for everybody. So now we need pressurized air plus the warm stone bricks. We get the hot air at 300, and this is a better recipe. And I've been playing around with it here. I got 16,000 hot air. This is going to be an LTN pickup drop-off. So we're gonna use LTN to do this hot air, and we're gonna distribute the hot air, not the stone bricks, because it would be, you know, kind of a pain to bring bricks and pick up bricks. Now we're just dropping off, picking up. Okay. So what we could do is we could put our raw coal in here, and that'll fire up, and eventually it'll start generating the gas there. And yeah, I'm glad I saw that 95, you know, output. I was like, oh, this is great. So it's buffering up, and then boom, there it goes. Now, what's interesting, though, is that we need this. So what is going on here? There it is. Yeah, there it is. So I don't know why these are stuck in here. Oh, it's built up. Okay. Yeah, so it's going... I'm going to have a buffer on this one. There we go. Now it's starting to kick it on. Okay. There it goes. Yeah, I was a little worried there. So we got the... What's holding this up? Okay. So it looks like we have a little bit of an issue here. So what's happening is it can't export. See that? So what has to happen is we have to have a case here. And then we'll just do that. 39. Because this needs to consistently run. Okay. There we go. Yeah, backed up. So you can see the issue there. Okay, there we go. So when you see this, you have to have like a buffer case to kind of keep the process running. Because if this machine backs up on the output, you're gonna have problems. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let me make sure I covered this thing here. So I have this system right here. This is going to be our consistent coal, raw coal, or no, not raw coal. We're gonna have coal dust, and coarse coal. It's going to be on the network and available to be burnable. This is going to be our burnable, our fuel right here for all these systems, oxygen furnaces and stuff. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to cover, yeah. And so what I'm going to do is I think I mentioned this already. I'm losing my mind here. I'm going to make an outpost here, 8-train, raw coal, done. I'll work on the borax and get that cleaned up and outposted, and we got to clean the borax and all that stuff. I'm going to vent still the muddy sludge. I don't see it necessary to train it up from this process. Even though it's free, I don't really care. I mean, it's not difficult to do washers. You just put water down and you got the stuff, you know. So, you know, whatever. I'm not worried about salvaging that resource there. So, yeah, I'll get this in. And then we're gonna do this. I'm gonna clean it up and make it look, get a little better design on it, because it's kind of tricky for loading. And what I want to do is, for this, where we're at here, I want to prioritize I want to make a coal dust train. We're gonna add it to our network. We're gonna prioritize the coal dust from our power plant thing, because we want to use that. You know, it doesn't really matter which one we use first, really, but so we have to have a train of coal dust. Then we bring that here, we burn it, because it's going to back that system up if we don't burn it. So we have to prioritize coal dust. Then we have to prioritize the coarse coal, and then the coal can be used, right? So wherever we're using this stuff, we're going to have to prioritize in that order. Then the coal can be burned, right? And then eventually we'll get the briquettes and stuff, and then I think we can use the coal dust to make that particular one piece of power that we're going to need. Okay, so we'll speed up the video. I'm going to work on this, and then we'll work on this. And it's a little bit daunting because I'm not sure how it's going to run, but I'm going to go in columns so that we can expand the system based on what I'm seeing, because I can't get this in hell mod. We can try max rate calculator and see how it works too. So I'll give that a whirl. Okay, let's get to work. Alright, welcome back to the normal speed of the video. Boy, I tell you, oh, yeah, change of plans. After I had said, oh, we're going to work on the bricks over here, I was like, well, it would make sense to have I got to have the coal, right? The raw coal. And the whole point of it was to get fuel and raw coal for the coke oven gas. And then I need the fuel, right, to feed that beast over there to get the coke oven gas going. Now, oh, so let's real quick. The timing of the video is going to be kind of long. Oh, I gotta get a darn it! I don't have a radar over here. Oh, I ripped the radar up. So yeah. Now these trains don't carry much. It's only 1,000. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass. So 8,000, you know, in here. That's all. And yeah, that's all we can do. But it is what it is. So, oh, that raw coal train is gone now that I had here. And we have raw coal trains finally on the network and in mass. So we have 8,000 ore or raw coal. The borax, I wish we could see it. But yeah, that's all gone. I ripped that up. Oh, I got to signal this here. I was looking at the editing. And we got to go here and here. There we go. Yeah, so borax went pretty good, and I decided to do 2 yellow belts of borax. So I upped this to 20. It's supposed to be 11. I upped it to, yeah, it was 11. So I did 22, I think. Yeah, 11 and 11. And then we got the loader over here and all that. So borax is done. I wanted to get it out of the way. And then now we got raw coal and all that good stuff. This is all coming out here, you know, eventually. And yeah, I got to get these belts pulled apart and stuff. Okay. Wow. Look at that iron. That's why we needed to get on this, because I can't really build much, you know. I mean, I could build. It's great to have that down there. The Hub 3.0. Okay. So here's a plan. I've been thinking about this because I did like 3 sessions. I've been going at this for hours. And so the way I'm going to do this, now I named this off screen carbon-based fuel, because that's basically all I want from here. This is just a way to fuel oxygen furnaces and the coal burners, you know, because we're probably going to need to do some kind of hot brick thing somewhere else or whatever. I don't know. But we're going to have to supply fuel to oxygen furnaces for sure. And so what I'm going to do here, unfortunately, I don't know if I have to reposition this or what. Kind of a pain in the butt. I should have went over a little bit, but that's where I don't want to move my power poles around, because then it kind of gets off grid. You know, you could knock yourself off grid accidentally. Anyway, this side here is going to load coal dust and the coarse coal, and I'm going to just let it run, you know, and we'll see how it works. And I'm going to have circuit network here, and probably these here. And what's going to happen is when this is going to be shut off until I have, oh, and I should do filter mini loaders here, and I think about it. There we go. Because what I want to do is I'm going to load either coal dust or the coarse coal. Coal dust is going to go first. I want to get rid of it, you know, first. And so if it builds up to, I could do a set filters on these too. So if the coarse coal is enough to fill a train, then I activate do a set filters thing and activate these and have them. Wait a minute, what happened here? Why did you do that, dummy? There we go. They should have flipped around based on the fact that I had something here that was going the other way. So yeah, I'm gonna shut off these based on what's in here, and so it's gonna be an either or. So if coal dust or coarse coal is above a train amount, then shut these off. But I'm going to go like, not a full train. I'm gonna go way over a full train because we have plenty of room in here. So if it's like maybe 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000, whatever, coal dust, then we're gonna we'll get rid of a train of it. Same thing with coarse coal. If it's above, like 2 trains or something, we'll load a train and then we'll, get rid of it that way. So we got to manage this, is what it comes down to. There is a recipe to crush this down into coal. However, you lose half of the fuel value of the coarse coal, which, why do that? Why waste power and reduce your megajoule amount of an item just to make it kind of simpler? Because I could crush this and combine it with this here, just run a belt. And then it's just a matter of this crap here. The other thing that I'm going to do over here, somewhere, I don't know where, maybe down this way more, I'm going to pull a train in up here, and I'm going to have coal dust on the network. And I want to make that an LTN provider, potentially. I'd like to do the same thing for this, but I'd rather use it for fuel. So the whole point of this is, yeah, it would be nice to have that coal dust for other things, because it's kind of difficult to come by unless you have something here. This is the only way to get coal dust. Let's take a look here. Oh, wait. We can actually look at that and that. And coal dust comes from processing the ash, as we remember that way back. Raw fiber is a way to get it. So, and we don't have that. Now, we can do this, but we want to get rid of this crap, here. It's a byproduct. There's that one. So crushed coal, raw coal. And then we have the red hot coke. We're not doing that. And then we're not doing tailings dust. We don't have it. There's the ash recipe. Tailings dust, we don't have any. Zinc, we don't have any. Well, that's grade 4 zinc. And coal to coal dust, boy, that would be nice to have. Because then we could actually set up, instead of having a byproduct, we can actually have it as a product, and we could, do stuff with it. We could actually manage it a lot easier if we could create coal dust from coal. But right now it's a byproduct to manage, Well, this whole process sucks anyway, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, so yeah, I'll do some circuit network stuff here. I'll test it out. And then when a train comes here, it doesn't matter what is in the train. It's whatever's in this train is going to get burned as fuel. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's kind of how I want to run it. That way you can get rid of it. And then, like I said, the coal dust is kind of like, we don't have it. We could do that raw fiber to coal dust eventually. I'm not going to worry about it right now because we don't have anything that needs a coal dust output except that niobium. Maybe at that point we'll do it. Okay, better end this video now. I'll finish this up and I'll show you what I got in the next episode. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.